Greetings. My name is Dave Fowler. My company is David's Kitchen Design, and I've been in business for 5 years. I've been designing kitchens for 15 years and done over 500 kitchens. We're going to talk today about standardizing your process. We're going to talk today about having it go smooth from beginning to finish in the kitchen design, sales, and install and finish process. And how do we do that? How many here have ever had a kitchen go wrong? The wrong things, it didn't line up, it was a disaster. We've all been there and we know what it's like. So, today we're going to talk about how to standardize. I call it standardizing your process from beginning to end in the kitchen process. So, we're a kitchen company. We started out and we've hired a designer and they've messed up kitchens and things have been wrong. We think that, we learn from our mistakes. Lots of times, if we don't know the process and if we don't standardize our process from the very point of sales to design to finish, the kitchen jobs can be a mess. Let's just face it, folks. I've been there. I've been doing this for 15 years. And when I started out, I learned from the school of hard knocks. So we're going to look today at how do we standardize our process. And I've developed a system that I call designing by workstation, designing and selling by workstation. And I've classified 4 places as my workstation, from the sink to the refrigerator to the cooking area and to the island or peninsula, and how we're going to design each of those places. In each of those places, I have what I call my go to. So there's a go to on everything. There's a go to for 80 to 90% of the people out there that you're going to go to, and they're going to agree with it, and then you can move on to the next workstation. So unless they show you something different, unless they say, well, I've seen this on House, HOUCZ, or I've seen this, someplace else, and I want this particular thing, we're going to have our go-tos. And that way it's going to smooth out your whole process from beginning to end. So that's what we're going to deal with in our class. I have another class on 2020 design, and that deals with also the workstations and how to do that. I have another class on selling in people's homes and coming away with a check. How are we the most efficient? So when we're leaving a person's home or when we're in the showroom, we ought to be setting the next step forward. And we ought to not just leave it hanging, because they found that salespeople that leave it hanging, or designers that leave it hanging up in the air, basically lose business, because the next person that comes along will get a check. So we want to have that ask on our first appointment. So we're always asking, we're always closing, we're always solidifying the deal on our first meeting, whether that be in the showroom or in a person's home. So basically, we're going to talk about, going through the whole. Say you go out to a person's home. We'll just use that as an example because I do that a lot. I've designed in showrooms as well, and we can touch on that as well. But you go to a person's home, you say, I have certain sayings that I say, like, you know, now, ma'am, anybody can plant cabinets on a wall, but when you have your friends and relatives sitting here around your island, you want them to go, damn, that's an amazing kitchen, or wow, that looks amazing. And so you basically want to impress and have that kitchen that really pops. How do we get that? These are all kitchens that I've done here in my career. And these are things that I've overseen personally from beginning to end. I don't install. I used to install for about 3 years of my career, but I don't install anymore. You have to have a license in Arizona to do that. And I don't have to be licensed to sell cabinets and design kitchens right now. So that's a whole nother story. But basically, I do go set up my projects, make sure that they get going, make sure that the installer understands what we're doing and how it's going to look in the end. I do certain things as a standard. For example, around the sink, we're going to get into that, around the cooking area, around the peninsula, and around the refrigerator area. And so, like for example, on all islands and uh, all peninsulas, I do furniture-based molding on the front that faces their living room or the area that they live in. And I say, now, when we do this island for you, we're going to put furniture-based molding on the bottom, similar to your trim on the edge of your house there. And everybody go like, wow, that looks like a nice piece of furniture. And they're like, oh, that's great. And so I get an agreement kind of at each stage as to what I am doing and how we are going to accomplish that. So let's start with the sink area. In the sink area, basically you're looking to either do an undermount sink or a farm sink. You're looking at putting the dishwasher usually on the right, not always, and then you're looking at a double trash full height with the wooden fixture for the trash cans on the bottom on the left. And then as we go to the sink area, are we doing a cooktop and a double oven as shown in the bottom picture there? Or are we doing a range, which the range is all in one? It's cooktop and an oven put together. And then as we move to the refrigerator area, what size refrigerator are they looking at? And is it a built-in? There's certain things we need to know there. So we're going to touch on all these in our classes. And thank you for taking my class. The biggest thing that I saw when I first started this was no one was on the same page, from the installers to, designers and at the big box stores and other things like that. They weren't on the same page. And that's how mistakes happen. So we're going to take a look at all that in our class. Thank you for joining me today, and please keep me in mind should you need design work done, should you need consulting in any area of sales or design, and or if you're starting a kitchen company, I help people do that as well. I help contractors get into additional kitchen sales. I can show people how to advertise free on Facebook community pages, and there's a number of other things that I teach to help people succeed in the kitchen design and sales business. Thank you so much and have a great day.